let's talk about buying a business. It can feel like you're trying to find your way through a huge, complicated maze, right? But what if you had a map? Well, that's exactly what we're doing here today. We are going to break down the entire process and turn this complex journey into a clear, step-by-step guide.
Deciding to buy a business, it's so much more than just a financial move. It's really the start of a life-changing quest. It's you taking the reins of your own destiny. And like any great adventure, it all kicks off with one single bold step. And that leads us right here to the big question. You've made the decision. You're ready to make your mark on the world. But honestly, where do you even start? What's next? That's what we're about to unpack. Because let's be real. This isn't just a purchase. This is a journey for the ambitious. It's your shot to shape your own future, build real wealth, and create something that lasts. So let's get you ready for the road ahead. Think about it. Every hero on a quest has their wise guides. And in the world of buying a business, that means putting together your own expert team. This is so important. You don't have to go it alone. In fact, you really shouldn't. So first up on your team is the business advisor. I want you to think of them as the quarterback. They're the one calling the plays, guiding you through market trends, and most importantly, fighting for you when it's time to negotiate the deal. Next up, you need a great CPA, a certified public accountant. This person is your financial guru. They're going to dive deep into the numbers, make sure everything adds up, and this is huge, help structure the sale so it's as tax efficient as possible for you. And of course, the attorney. This is your legal guardian in the process. They're the ones drafting the rock-solid purchase agreements and all the other documents that protect you from risk and make sure the whole thing is buttoned up and secure. Now, here's the real secret sauce. These three pros don't just work on their own little islands. They work together as your team. It's their combined expertise that's going to pave the way for a smooth and successful journey from aspiring buyer to a proud business owner. Okay, you've got your team. Now it's time to pull out the map. We've managed to break down this entire sprawling process into 8 clear, manageable steps. This is your personal roadmap to success. All right, now this flowchart gives you that high-level, bird's-eye view of the whole path. You can see it starts with just an expression of interest, moves through key legal steps like NDAs, financial reviews, and all that, all the way to closing. But don't get overwhelmed. We've grouped all of this into 8 key stages to make it way easier to follow. Let's dig into the first 4. So the whole journey really starts with getting yourself ready. Step 1 is to take charge. That means getting your financial ducks in a row and getting crystal clear on what you want. Next comes evaluation and education. This is your homework phase where you learn the market, understand how businesses are valued, and figure out how to spot a real opportunity from a dud. Only then, at step 4, does the real search begin, with your advisor lighting the way. Now for the second half of the adventure. Step 5 is when things get real. You make an offer. Then comes what might be the single most important phase, due diligence. This is where your expert team becomes like a squad of detectives, digging into every claim the seller has made to make sure it's all true. It's your ultimate safety net. After that, you're on to closing to finalize all the details. And finally, post-closing, where the seller helps you transition smoothly into your new role. Every epic quest has its challenges, its dragons that need to be slain. And when you're buying a business, those dragons often show up as common myths or traps. So let's talk about a few of them so you can steer clear. First up is the myth of the perfect business. Listen, the reality is there's no such thing. Every single business has flaws. The real prize isn't finding perfection. It's finding a business where you see the potential and know you have what it takes to make it even better. The no money down fantasy. Look, while it might happen once in a blue moon, it's pretty much unheard of. Sellers and lenders need to see you have some skin in the game. That down payment shows you're serious and protects everyone involved from risk. Okay, this one is absolutely critical. The idea that you can save a few bucks by not hiring a CPA or an attorney, that's one of the riskiest moves you could possibly make. Seriously. It's a recipe for disaster that can lead to terrible terms and all kinds of legal nightmares down the road. And finally, there's the myth of the totally hands-off absentee owner. Let's be clear, entrepreneurship takes effort. Any buyer who thinks they can just run a business from a distance without getting involved is usually setting themselves up for failure. Active involvement is everything. So after you've followed the steps, assembled your team, and dodged all the traps, what's the big reward at the end? Well, it's about so much more than just a business transaction. It's about forging your own legacy.
Take a look at this number. It tells a really interesting story about the market. On average, businesses sell for about 85% of what they were first listed for. So, what does that mean for you as a buyer? It means there's almost always some room to negotiate. And that leads to a really simple truth in this world. Price it right, get it sold. When a business is valued fairly from the start, things just go smoother. For you, the buyer, this means that even though you can negotiate, a fairly priced business is a great sign that you're dealing with a serious and transparent seller. In the end, this entire journey isn't just about buying an asset. It's about stepping into a new chapter of your life, one of empowerment. The business you end up buying becomes a canvas for your vision, a reflection of your values, and your unique mark on the world. So you have the roadmap now. You know the key players you need on your team, you know the steps to take, and you know the dragons to avoid. The only question left is, are you ready to take that first step and start forging your own legacy?